Hey, welcome back, Ram fans. A bit of a disappointing result today. The Rams fall to the Eagles 23-14. Watching this first half, I have to tell you, I felt like I was watching two really good football teams. Two teams that we could see, we could very easily picture them in the playoffs. Well, the Eagles, obviously, of course, right? But the Rams as well. I think they looked really good on offense and defense. And hey, they looked like they belonged on the same field with the Eagles, that's for sure. And I really felt like this was going to be their day. And then one of two trends reared their ugly head. The first trend that showed its face was end of the first half. Once again, we give up a horrible touchdown, a touchdown drive, allowing the Eagles to take the lead. The Rams were up 14-10 on the strength of a touchdown by Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua. Been playing pretty solid football on both sides of the ball, giving up lots of yardage to the Eagles, but for the most part, keeping them out of the end zone, only give up a touchdown and a field goal at that point. And then a pass to A.J. Brown for a big gain. And then Darion Kendrick gets called for the penalty. And then another penalty in the end zone. And the Eagles score on the last play of the first half to take a 17-14 lead. And it was pretty deflating, but you're still thinking, you know what, we've hung with these guys. Let's go get them in the second half. We get the ball first. And I don't think it was a case of the Rams being, overly depressed by the fact that they found themselves trailing, even though they had played so well. I don't know what's going on with this team in the second half, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Couldn't get anything going. The first drive opens with a penalty and a sack. They're able to pick up a first down, but they end up punting. And their second drive, kind of the same thing, one first down, and then might have been two. They got into Eagles territory, and then that was the drive that ended with the Puka fumble with Kupp recovering. And then two more drives, much ado about nothing, totally shut out in the second half. Couple big plays here and there. Missed the big play to Tutu Atwell late in the game that could have been a game changer. Meanwhile, our defense is out there for 10, 12, 14 play. I don't know how long these drives were, but they were endless. But they were one drive, they had the red zone, end zone takeaway. Two other drives, they forced field goals. They were doing their job. I think this was pretty much the game plan. Hey, it would have been nice to have a couple 3-and-outs, but this is a really good Eagles offense. And you got to, in my mind, you got to hand it to the Rams defense. They actually did their job. It is the Rams offense that let us down. Pretty disappointing second half. But let's look at the bright side. When this season started and we looked at this schedule and we looked at this roster, our best case scenario might have been 2-3. And what's our record? 2-3 after 5 games. And we have discovered a lot of guys that can play some pretty good football. And we have some winnable games coming up. So I'm disappointed, but at the same time, as Greg Olsen and Kevin Burkhardt were saying, hey, this Rams team is showing something, waking some people up about what kind of talent this team has and what kind of potential they have this year and next year and the years beyond, because, man, they have a lot of really promising young players. Some disappointing things, obviously. But I'm going to look at the glass half full here. The Rams go home, play at home again next week against Arizona, a game they should win. They need to win, get back to 3-3. Cooper Kupp is back, and obviously his old self. The Rams just got to figure out what's going on with their offense in the second half. They have all the weapons. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Tutu Atwell contributing. Tyler Higbee, Kyron Williams. Offensive line is generally playing okay. Hopefully Bobby Brown's okay. We saw him go down late. That did not look good, and he was starting to contribute. He's our one reliable big body on that defense. So crossing our fingers, he's okay. Hey, I'm going to have a lot more on the podcast dropping later tonight, early in the morning. Please check that out. We'll review my fearsome 4 keys to the game. We'll talk about the big plays of the game. We'll review, hey, is there anybody on this Rams team that deserves a game ball? Not sure. There actually are a couple guys that I'm going to mention, and a couple guys that got to get called out for maybe not living up to what we expect from Rams, especially in the tackling department. Kind of foreshadowing there what I might talk about. But the Rams fall to the Eagles 23-14, a very, very good Eagles team on both sides of the ball. Kind of disheartening, but, hey, we hung with these guys for the most part. Just let it get away from us in the second half. Did not have what it takes on the offensive side of the ball, which is really, you think it'd be the other way around at this point. You think a McVay offense with Matthew Stafford and these weapons, you think they'd be pushing the ball down the field and putting 2 touchdowns up on the board, maybe 17 points in the second half. That's what I was expecting. But instead, it was the defense that had to kind of carry the day as best they could under the circumstances. Our offense definitely let us down. But hey, check out the podcast. Be a lot more on that. A lot more content coming at you over the next few days on the Rams Up podcast. Out here for now from Rams Up.